Hi, I'm Monty McKinnon. Thank you for joining me today. This is a real messy day. Oh my goodness. And you know, I really could use some help down here. And I don't know if you've seen the video back, I guess it was in the summer, when Leo came to visit me.
Hi everybody, I'm Leo. Welcome. And I don't know where my grandpa is.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Oh, I came to help you.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, can I have a drink?
You want some English breakfast tea?
Yes.
This is
whatever.
a perfect kid. He wants English breakfast tea. What can I say? Sure, you can have a drink of that. And he showed up here and helped me do some work on the guitar, and it was so much fun. And he was supposed to be down here to help me again, but with this virus thing and the schools being closed, he wasn't able to get away and come down and help me, and I really do need him and I miss him. So Leo, if you're watching this, by all means, we got to make a date and get down here. But today what I want to do is I've been pore filling, and what I've done to pore fill, I've got some black pore fill that I've dyed, and it is really thin stuff, and I've actually used this thin cloth to wipe it on, which I wet so that it just thins out and fills those pores nice. Now what I'm about to do is to put on my mask, and I'm going to do just a tiny little bit of sanding because I want to show you how this works. You want this as smooth as you can get it. And one of the areas on a guitar, which when you're finishing you want to pay a lot of attention to, is this area down in here. Because where the two pieces of wood, the binding and the back, come together, and you've got the grain going like this, it's all weavy, you want that flat so that it's just perfectly smooth when you run your hand over it. So what I've done is I have, just set that down for now, I have wrapped the neck because I don't want to get any kind of nonsense in the way of this black stuff on there. I've done the sides of the guitar. Remember, I finished the top to protect it, and you can see there's not a mark on it. It's perfect. The neck, by the way, is glued on. It's permanent. And where I was out, I thought a 0.5 millimeter. Turns out when I measured it again today, I was bang on, right where I wanted to be. So that's perfect. What I've done in here, where the sound port is, I put a sponge just to keep that thing tight up in there so that I don't get any kind of black stain going inside the guitar at all. That would upset me, and I don't want that. So that's what we've done so far. And now I'm just going to put this on and just do a little bit of light sanding and show you how I do this, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. Gosh, you'd think I was going out shopping, wouldn't you? All right, get my glasses on. I'm using a 400 grit sandpaper. And I have a piece of plywood where I have glued rubber on the back, and that just sits so nicely like that. And then I will just hold that like that, and then very lightly just come over this. You don't want to pull any of this out of the pores. I've done a very nice job with the pore fill. This thing is like glass. Now, for a good finish, if you take the time on the pore fill, then it sets it up nice and smooth, so when you put the French polish on, you don't have a whole bunch of sanding and leveling to do, because there are not a whole bunch of little pock marks. You got to be careful not to pull this out. Now, I mentioned about the bottom here. This is absolutely like a mirror. There's not a ripple to be felt there at all. That's just going off perfectly smooth. So I'm really pleased with this. This looks absolutely excellent. Now, the next thing to do is to do the sides. And I have a small piece of rubber which I cut. This thing is approximately a 1/2 inch square. And then I cut a point down here, and then I shaped it in this way so that I have a point on here. And the purpose of that is to allow me to sand into the neck area here, so I can get right in tight to the neck, and I want to do that. And I can see that that's going to be just perfect. Now, what we'll do is just take a little piece of sandpaper, and we start to gently sand off the pore fill here. And let me tell you, this can be really icky to work with. I mean, it's really dusty. You don't want your lungs covered in pore fill for sure. I can see there is still some pore fill in this area here that needs to be removed. It's very good around here and up at the front. I will still do more of this. We've got all of this to do, and then flip it over, and we've got the reverse side to do. So I will get on with that, and I will tend to that. If, by the way, you are doing this and you're having trouble getting it off, you can always take your cloth and re-wet it. This is the rag that I use to put this stuff on with. You can always take this rag and then go over that area again and thin it down so it's a little more watery. And as long as it's well dry, it dries well, you'll be able to sand this off and get a good pore fill. Now I can tell you what we just looked at here just feels great. Somebody's going to really enjoy playing this, putting their ear up to that. You mark my words. All right, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. I'm going upstairs in a moment and have a cup of English breakfast tea because I can, and I like to do that. But please consider subscribing and hit the like button if you like this. Got a comment or two, and you've got a question, by all means, send them in, indicated down below there in the comments, and I will try to get back to you. I will get back to you eventually, for sure. And in the meantime, what I am going to do is put together the Tea with Monty, and we'll have an episode of that coming up because I've got lots of questions. So let's do that, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for joining me. Bye for now.